I should tell you, when I was a kid, I used to mix up the word prescription with subscription. So if you sign up for a subscription tonight, don't be surprised if you actually get some Advil in the mail or something like that. Before I left home to come downtown tonight, the mail arrived, so I reached into the mailbox. There was one thing in the mailbox. A bill from the Davis Enterprise. I earned $42. They can take it out of my salary. It's proof once again that God has a sense of humor. I'm frankly overwhelmed to see all of you here tonight. The love and support I'm feeling from this Davis community in the last few days has just lifted me up to the clouds. So, thank you. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. You have all made me forget about yesterday and helped me to look forward to tomorrow with so much joy and hope and anticipation and with a huge smile on my face. I'd especially like to thank the redheaded girl of my dreams, Shelley. Who I met in that steamy laundromat in northern Idaho at what seems like yesterday. I married her on the rinse cycle. And my kids, if I can remember all their names, Ted and Aaron and Maeve and Molly and Emmy and Mick. My grandkid, my sisters Mary and Joe and Rosie and Pat. And the tech whiz of Davis, Brian Bowles from Beehively. Where are you, Brian? Right here. And what was the other one? Teckabee. So he helped someone who can't even figure out how to turn on the lights or the TV to have my own site on Substack. And also April and Andy Donald for all their help. And my good and longtime friend Steve Boutin, who will propose a toast at the end of this brief talk. My sister Jo, who is in Tucson, in fact, she sent me a sweet note this morning from her home where she and Rosie live. I'll read it to you. She says, "Loving you, brother dear, such a wonderful big day you have today. We are both so with you, and we will be there today in our hearts as you launch the wonderful next step in your amazing life and career." And then she used 3 exclamation points. Did not teach her well. I always told her, if your words don't exclaim something, no amount of punctuation can help them. Then she says, "Time for you to spread your wings and fly freely in a much bigger arena that matches you and your magnificence." And then she used 4 exclamation points. She says, "The world is waiting for you, too. You've been preparing all your life for this moment. Spread your wings and fly with the Eagles."
Yes.
I like the Eagles, but I'm actually a 49er fan. And then she says, "Loving you bigger than words, dear brother." So I got a note yesterday from the founder of Substack, a kind and talented man named Hamish McKenzie. He offered his congratulations and he noted, "I see your readers are turning up in droves. This is just the beginning." He used an exclamation point too. So I've got a migraine now. But here's the unbelievable part, and this part's true, at least to me. The Wary One now has subscribers in 45 states. And 21 countries. One guy from the UK paid his subscription in pounds. We have 48 subscribers in my home state of Oregon, including my great aunt Flo, 60 in Washington, and a completely unexplained 39 subscribers in the state of Florida. 3 of whom I've been able to verify voted for Ron DeSantis for president. There are 9 in Hawaii and 3 in Alaska, and I didn't even realize those were states. It feels like maybe when I started they weren't states. The only states missing, and I'm going to go there on a fact-finding mission, are Arkansas, Vermont, New Hampshire, South Dakota, and North Dakota. Vermont is painful because I voted for Bernie Sanders and he owes me. And North Dakota I can't explain because half my relatives live there. And actually maybe that does explain it. They can't figure out how to subscribe. The Where One has subscribers in Australia, South Africa, Botswana, Germany, France, Spain, Austria, Japan, the Philippines, the Netherlands, Ukraine, Serbia, Turkey, New Zealand, Indonesia, Romania, Mozambique, Canada, Mexico, and Italy. I know the one in Italy is the Pope. He subscribed to the Enterprise too because he said he needed to keep an eye on me. So with that, I just want to thank you all so much. I had no idea this was possible, and you, all of you, are the ones that made it happen, and your love and support means the world to me. Thank you so much. And now say a few words and break out the champagne, my dear friend, Steve Boutin.
Yeah, I will actually. So Steve, our dear friend Steve, is going to say a few words, and we have champagne, but we're trying to figure out how to get it to all of you. So we've got 12 bottles, right, Steve? 12 bottles, so we're going to have people wander through the crowd with bottles of champagne, and I have glasses, so maybe I'll hand some out and you guys can pass them around and we'll get the champagne out when it's time. All right. What do you think?
Or they can drink it out of the bottle.
Or you
Yeah, come on, some of us are from Woodland, out of the bottle.
I'd also really like to thank the Davis Fire Department and the police for coming and controlling this unruly crowd.
And they didn't shut you down.
Where do we put our tents? I want to know, Bob.
Bob, we have a question already. Apparently there's a Q&A. This is your new life. Bob says only 2 more hours for Q&A, so if you have any... Are we having a good time honoring Bob? So good evening and welcome to what is right now the happiest place on earth. And that's because, as we all know, we are celebrating Bob's 100th birthday. I'm corrected, that's next year. But actually, I think what we're doing is celebrating in a way what has become the most celebrated double colonoscopy of all time. and if you haven't read Bob's column on that, do. And also I think that will mean that some of the local urologists, their business is going to go way down. Bob, they're not going to be thanking you for that article. But that was absolutely wonderful. I think we also ought to just say that and it's just one cathartic moment to thank the one and only Bob Dunning. Since Bob's trade was in words, I'll say a few. I think first of all, we need to thank Shelley as well as Bob, as most of you know. Yes. We often use the term community building. And I think we all know that Bob and Shelley in about 5 years doubled the population of Davis and did the community building. And as a community, we're very thankful to them. Very thankful to them. But also, many of us individually, we've been inspired, we've been moved, we've been made to laugh because of Bob over the years. And that is irreplaceable. Going through things as I was thinking about Bob and Shelley, I think we can look back and say Bob has been a very sensitive chronicler of the people and the events that have made Davis what it is today. Bob has been insightful, and we know Bob has been very candid, And the wonderful thing is, nobody agrees with Bob all the time, and I think Bob would say if we agreed with him all the time, he would question us immediately. But Bob has been an insightful and candid interpreter of our community, its successes, but also its wounds and its woes. Bob has reminded us at times of what's truly important. He's taken us back to values, he's reminded us of things, and he's made us aspire to things. Bob has also reminded us that we're all fruits and nuts, and that sometimes we just have to laugh at ourselves, not take ourselves quite so seriously here in this great town we live in. Bob has been our muse for inspiration, and he has been our mirror for reflection. He makes us think, he makes us smile, and maybe better yet, he makes us all laugh. Bob has been our heart, and he's been our mind. He's often been our conscience, and yes, he's even been our soul, a term that has many meanings, but Bob has given much definition to the term soul. And I think we can all agree, because we're all here today, that because of Bob, and because of Bob's thoughts and Bob's words, that our community and all of us are much better for it. So we thank Bob Dunning for that. And wrapping it up, one of the great things about an occasion like today is we're not standing in a graveyard. We are standing with a live, vibrant person with another 55 years in him. I'm assuming 55 years in him. Yes, yes. And so that means more wisdom, more challenging of the norms, more laughs, and I think we can anticipate this year for the 56th consecutive years, Bob will be predicting an undefeated Aggie football team.
This will be the year.
This will be the, oh, we have a question?
Well, yes, and a comment. I want to suggest that I'm certain that the size of your showing of people who will be coming on board is going to be staggeringly much higher, because you write about Davis as if it were any community in the world, and so everybody can relate. So my question is,
We have a question coming up. There's a 3-minute Davis, yes.
when are you going to take some of your best? When are you going to take some of your best, and they're all best, articles and turn it into a book? It will sell.
So that's a great idea. So that's coming. Yeah.
I love it. This is Davis. This is interactive. Okay, we have one more comment, because otherwise, let's see, I can count, and we will be here till a week from Thursday. So I'd love to hear this, and then we're going to wrap it up, raise our hands, raise our glasses to toast Bob. Here you go.
Bob, I read it, your comment daily. I love it. You are really, I'm here because you're an institution of Davis. You're that important. Or you should be institutionalized. I'm not sure which it was.
Okay, we're turning edgy here in Davis. All right.
She can write my next column.
Next column. Bob's going to go to guest columns now.
No, he's not.
All right, memorable day. So, for those of you who have a glass, let's raise a glass. For those of you who do not have a glass, raise a hand. We want to toast to our friend Bob Dunning, his past, his present, and to the future of Bob and all his family, even those in North Dakota. To Bob.